Hello everyone and welcome to Prof. Dan Tutorials. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Our topic today is on two-way tables. I'm going to be taking you through the elementary part of what a table is, one-way table, two-way tables, how it can be used to analyze a survey, and so on and so forth. Majorly, it's going to be through examples to understand the elementary concept of two-way tables. I'm going to start with what a table is. A table basically is used to arrange information. This information could be numbers, it could be describing something, but one important thing is that these informations are arranged in rows and columns. Now, what do we mean by row? You recall that when you have something lying horizontally in an horizontal position, this is row. Okay, this is row 1, row 2, and row 3. And when you have an arrangement taking a vertical form, it refers to as column. For example, this is column 1, column 2, and column 3. And in most cases, we have in it for you to see a complete table, the rows and columns are combined like this. For example, in this case, we have, let's call this the whole of this part is row 1, the whole of this part row 1, the whole of this part is row 2. Okay, and we also have, if you look at it vertically, the whole of this part is column 1 and the whole of this is column 2. Okay, back to this table. Every table has a title. For example, as we have this table 1, what is the table all about? It's saying that the title of the table shows the number of survivors across 4 cities. So let's say a survey has been carried out about the survivors of coronavirus in across 4 cities. We have city A, city B, city C, and city D. And we have the number of corresponding survivors. In city A, the number of survivors as we speak is 14. In city B, the number of survivors is 23. City C, the number of survivors is 21. And in this survey, we are told that the total number of survivors is 75. The total number of survivors is 75. There is a missing value here for D. So how do we get D out? Very easy. You know there are 4 cities, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know the number of survivors in city D, but in the information given, we have the total of all the survivors to give us 75. Oh, very simple. That means you need to get what this is. That is 14 plus 23 plus 21. And this is going to give you 58. And so the value of D here is going to be the total value, which is 75, minus the summation of the 3 cities, 58. And this is going to give 17. So in city D, there are 17 survivors. So this is a very simple table. Your table is describing the city we have and the number of survivors in that city. In this table, how many columns are there? There are 2 columns. Column showing for city, you see, and column showing for number of survivors. And how many rows do we have? We can say, including the title, we have row 1, we have row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and the row showing the total value, row 6. So this is a simple explanation of what a table is. Now we're going to go in depth into two-way tables proper. Now I have an example here to describe what two-way tables is, and we should know what categorical data is. When we say data that can be categorized, these are data that can be grouped. Okay, and if you have two data you are grouping together, remember in one of our previous videos we call it a bivariate data. Okay, all right, now let's look at this example we have here. The title shows table 2, survey of employees of company A and B following the present rule. Okay, so this survey is showing people that agrees to stay at home and those that do not agree to stay at home for company A employees and company B employees. We have some information given, and we have some places showing alphabet, that is we need to find the exact value out, which is possible, and that is what you are learning in this case. Okay, so as a way of explaining, if company A employees, here is showing 28. What does it mean? It means, look at this, agree to stay at home. So that means that for company A employees, 28 employees agree to stay at home. You have this 41. This 41 belongs to the column that reads do not agree to stay at home, and it belongs to the row that says company A employees. So to describe this, that means that for the row company A employees that do not agree to stay at home are 41. You see that? So now the total here, this A, is telling us that for the whole of company A employees, how many of them do we have? Okay, and easily we can get that by doing simply 28 plus 41, and this is going to give us 69. Okay, good. Also, now you need to look at which values can you get with what you already know. This 90, let's say 96, we have 96 here. What is it saying? The total employees in company B, the total employees in company B is 96. But we need to know how many of them agree to stay at home and how many of them do not agree to stay at home. Okay, let's see what we can do. If you look at this column here, let me call this column 1 and this is column 2. If you look at column 2, down we have the total 91. That is, this total here is showing the whole of do not agree to stay at home. That is 41, and this B will give you a total of 91. So that means we can get B out. So that is, we have 41 plus B will give us a total of 91. So to get B is going to be 91 minus 41, and that is going to give us 50. How do you describe the 50? That is, for company B employees, that is the role it belongs to, do not agree to stay at home. 50 of them do not agree to stay at home. Okay, now we are progressing. We've gotten A, we've gotten B. How can we get C? Let's look at where C belongs. C belongs to the role of company B employees, and C belongs to the column of agree to stay at home, this column 1. How can we get this information out? If you know all the information on the row, that is this B, and we know the total 96, then we can get C. Simply, it's going to be the total number 96 minus the one we know here, do not agree to stay at home, 50. And that is going to give us 46. 46. So 46 employees of company B agree to stay at home. And quickly check, 46 plus 50 is going to give you 96. That is the total. Okay, next, let's see, can we get D? Yes, we can get D. The total here is showing for this column agree to stay at home. How many employees in total agrees to stay at home? I know for company A 28, so I have 28 plus that of company B is 46, so I have 46. Then we get 74. So 74 employees in total agrees to stay at home. And lastly, we need to get he. How do we get our he out? There are two ways, because this is a two-way table. Now, the total you have on this column of total, must be the same thing as the total you will have on this row. Let's see what we're gonna get. Okay, let's use the column 69. So I have 69 plus that 96, and this is gonna give me 165. Okay, now let's look at it from this row. Total 74 plus next one 91. This is also going to give you 165. So we have a perfect calculation, because the total here must be the same when you do it column wise or row wise. So this is an example of a two-way tables. Okay, next we're going to look at what we call relative frequency. Basically, relative frequency helps us to show possible relationship, or help us to talk about a possible relationship that exists between the variables involved. Okay, and one thing you should note is that you can calculate the relative frequency based on row, and you can also calculate it based on column. What do we mean, and how do you calculate relative frequency? Relative frequency is simply the value of the data you're looking at over the total value, the total corresponding values where your interest is. Okay, first, our interest is on this row, the row that comprises of company A employees. We have 28 of them agree to stay at home. We have 41 of them do not agree to stay at home. And the total number of employees in company A is 69. So this is row. So in terms of row, the total is 69. So if I want to know or calculate the relative frequency for company A employees that agree to stay at home, all I do is, what is the data at that point? The data at that point is 28, those that agree to stay at home. So divided by the total 69. And this is going to give you 0.41 as a decimal, and you can take it to percentage by multiplying by 100%. This is going to be 41%. The same thing, you can get the relative frequency for company A employees that do not agree to stay at home. That is going to be 41, the data value, over the total 69. If you press your calculator, you should get 0.59. as a decimal and as a percentage. If you multiply by 100, you get 59%. Okay, and for the total, you can also have the value 69 over the total 69. This is 1, or if you multiply by 100, 100%, because 41% plus 59% is going to give you 100%. So when you have this is a relative frequency. A relative frequency value of 50% and above shows a strong relationship between the variable. So for complete A employees, 0.59 or 59% is showing that above more than half of the complete A employees do not agree to stay at home. Lastly, I'm going to show you something that you can still have. For example, what we call a Venn diagram. I have a circle, I have another circle. Let's say this is representing student that likes apple. And let's say this is representing students that likes to eat banana. Okay, now you see this, there is a meeting point for these two fruits. This part shows the meeting point for the two fruits. So if I have 6 here, what the 6 means is that 6 students likes to take both apple and banana. The value I have here, let's say if I have 5 here, is showing only banana. Only 5 students likes to take banana. This part, let me change the pen color. Okay, so this part is showing for only banana. So if I have 7 here, that 7 means only 7 students likes to take banana. And lastly, when you have something like this is how a Venn diagram is. This is how a Venn diagram is, which you can still put on a two-way table. When you have a value that is not inside any of the circles, it means neither. So 9 students do not like to take neither apple or banana. Thank you very much, and see you in our next video. Please don't forget to subscribe to Prof Dan Tutorials and get more of our updates. Thank you, and bye bye.